Imagine living in a quiet Montana town where everybody seems to know each other. Now, picture that peace shattered by a chain of violent events, something straight out of a true crime documentary. Today, I'm diving into a story that's tangled in family, tragedy, and unanswered questions: the Anaconda shooting, and the haunting past that shadows one of its suspects. Let's rewind to December of 2000. The town of Anaconda, Montana, was rocked when a man named Frank Marquez was brutally stabbed to death. The violence stunned the community, but what made it even more unsettling was who committed the crime: Frank's own nephew, Nick Marquez. He was just 18 at the time. The details were chilling. A night that started as a regular gathering ended in a fatal confrontation. Nick pleaded guilty to deliberate homicide and was sentenced to 20 years in prison. Fast forward almost a quarter century, the Marquez family name surfaces again, but this time in a different crime. In July 2024, another act of violence shakes the same tight-knit town. Authorities are searching for Jesse Marquez, Nick's younger brother, as a suspect in a high-profile shooting. The links between these two tragic events are hard to ignore, and people are left wondering, can violence run in families, or is this just a terrible coincidence? Let's break down what happened. On July 21, 2024, shots rang out in Anaconda, sending the community into a panic. Police quickly identified Jesse Marquez as a person of interest. The investigation picked up speed, and as details emerged, the old wounds from Nick's conviction reopened. It wasn't just about the crime itself anymore. It was about the legacy of violence and how a family's past can cast a long, dark shadow. Digging deeper, I found something striking. Back in 2000, the Marquez family was torn apart by Nick's actions. The pain and grief from that night never really faded for the people who loved Frank. Now, more than 2 decades later, Jesse's alleged involvement in a shooting has brought all those emotions back to the surface. Friends and neighbors are reeling, asking themselves how such heartbreak could strike the same family twice. But here's where things get complicated. Law enforcement is careful not to draw direct lines between the brothers. Each case is being handled on its own. Still, the community can't help but wonder, is there something deeper going on here? I want to be clear, there's no simple answer. Some experts say trauma can ripple through families, affecting choices and futures in ways we don't always see. Others insist that every individual is responsible for their own actions. What's undeniable is the shock and sadness that's gripped Anaconda, a town now twice marked by tragedy linked to the same family name. As of now, Jesse Marquez's case is still open. Investigators are working around the clock, following leads, and trying to piece together exactly what happened that night in July. For many in Anaconda, it's a painful waiting game, hoping for justice, but also for healing. Stories like this are tough. They're a reminder that behind every headline, real people are hurting. Families are left with scars that may never fully heal. But maybe, by understanding these stories, by looking closely and asking hard questions, we can all learn something about resilience, forgiveness, and the weight of the past. Thanks for sticking with me through this difficult story. If you found this video informative, hit the like button and consider subscribing for more deep dives into real-life mysteries. Stay safe and take care of each other.